Hey NFL fans, before we dive into today's hottest stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from NFL News Now. The narrative surrounding Dak Prescott is changing, and it's changing fast. For years, the Dallas Cowboys quarterback has been the lightning rod of NFL discourse, the center of endless debates, the target of criticism, and the poster boy for unmet expectations in America's most scrutinized franchise. But something feels different this season. Something in the air, in the way analysts talk about him, in the tone of the conversation on sports radio and social media. Suddenly, people aren't talking about Dak as the problem in Dallas anymore. They're starting to recognize him as the reason the Cowboys are even competitive. It's not hyperbole to say that the national conversation is undergoing a full-blown recalibration, one driven not by hype, but by performance, leadership, and a new level of poise that has fans and pundits alike taking a second look at the man under center. For so long, Prescott was caught in that uncomfortable middle ground between good and great, where every success was dismissed as circumstantial and every failure was magnified into a referendum on his career. The man couldn't win, not metaphorically, at least. If he threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns, critics said he was stat padding in garbage time. If the Cowboys lost a big game, he became the face of the franchise's postseason shortcomings, as if football weren't the ultimate team sport. Every move, every throw, every sideline expression was dissected through the lens of 27 years of organizational frustration. And yet, through all of it, Dak never cracked publicly. He kept showing up, kept working, kept leading. Now, the results are finally matching the effort. When you look at what he's done this season, you start to understand why the narrative is shifting. Against the New York Jets on Sunday, Prescott was surgical. Not flashy, not reckless. Surgical. He managed the game with precision, made smart reads, and protected the football in a way that showcased not just his athleticism, but his evolution as a quarterback. It was another chapter in what is quietly becoming one of his most efficient and consistent campaigns as a pro. Forget the raw numbers for a second. Watch the tape. Watch how he's diagnosing defenses pre-snap, manipulating safeties with his eyes, and trusting his arm in high-leverage moments. You can tell that this is a man who's mastered the mental side of the game, who's seen enough coverages and pressures to process them instinctively. And it's not just fans noticing. When someone like Colin Cowherd, a voice who spent years on national television both critiquing and praising Prescott, starts calling him underrated, that's not nothing. That's a shift in perception. He was a little overrated. Now, this Dak is not getting enough credit, Cowherd said recently. And you know what? He's right. The Cowboys don't have a true number 1 receiver right now. The offensive line that once anchored the league is still in rebuild mode. The running game, while serviceable, isn't the powerhouse it used to be. The defense, surprisingly, ranks near the bottom in several categories. And yet, here's Prescott, cool, composed, and efficient, keeping Dallas competitive every single week. Cowherd even went as far as to say he'd vote Prescott as the number 2 MVP candidate behind Baker Mayfield, acknowledging that Dak has become the most underappreciated quarterback in football. Think about that for a second. For years, the knock on Dak was that he needed everything to be perfect around him. The offensive line, the weapons, the defense, to succeed. Now, it's the opposite. Everything around him is flawed, inconsistent, and unstable, and he's the one keeping it all together. That's growth. That's leadership. That's the definition of value. And when you consider that he's done it without his top target in CD Lamb for multiple games, it becomes even more impressive. We're not talking about garbage time stats here. We're talking about clutch throws, drive-sustaining completions, and poise under pressure that keeps Dallas alive in every contest. Prescott's chemistry with his newer receivers has also been quietly remarkable. The timing with Brandon Cooks is sharper. Jake Ferguson has become a security blanket in the middle of the field, and the connection with his running backs in the passing game shows how Dak has adapted his style to what this team needs. He's not forcing throws like he sometimes did in the past. He's letting the game come to him. You can see it in his eyes, that calm confidence that separates good quarterbacks from the great ones. It's not bravado. It's conviction. It's the look of a man who's been through the storms and come out the other side more focused than ever. There's also an emotional layer to all this. Dak's career has been defined as much by perseverance as by performance. From the tragic loss of his mother to the devastating ankle injury that could have ended his career, Prescott's story is one of resilience. He's faced adversity at every turn and refused to fold. That matters. It matters to his teammates, to his coaches, to anyone who's ever doubted him. You can sense that the locker room rallies around him not because he's the quarterback, but because he's Dak. The guy who shows up early, stays late, takes accountability, and sets the tone. Leadership like that doesn't show up on stat sheets, but it changes the DNA of a team. Now, let's talk about context. The Cowboys are 2-1, not exactly world-beating, but they're also just a couple of plays away from being 4-1. A dropped pass here, a missed tackle there, and we're talking about a completely different narrative. Prescott can't control everything, but he's controlling what he can, and that's his play. Against the Eagles, CeeDee Lamb dropped what could have been a game-winning touchdown. Against the Packers, the defense failed to hold up in overtime. Yet in both games, Dak kept Dallas in it until the final moments. That's not luck. That's consistency. That's a quarterback doing his job at a high level, even when everything else around him is faltering. This is where the MVP conversation starts to make sense. We know the award isn't always about the best player in the league. It's about the player most valuable to his team's success. And by that metric, it's hard to find many quarterbacks doing more with less than Prescott. Baker Mayfield may be having a great year in Tampa Bay, but he's got a better roster, a stronger supporting cast, and a defense that gives him chances to win late. Dak, on the other hand, is holding a fragile Dallas roster together with sheer will and football IQ. He's elevating players around him, which is the true mark of greatness. If this version of Dak Prescott had shown up in earlier years, maybe the Cowboys' postseason history would look different. But the beauty of sports is that it's never too late to rewrite your story. Prescott is doing exactly that, rewriting the narrative, one smart throw and one gritty win at a time. He's proving that you don't have to be flashy to be elite. Sometimes, steady is spectacular. Sometimes, the quiet leader is the loudest statement of all. It's not that the criticism was always unfair. Prescott has had bad games. He's had postseason disappointments. But growth doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens through failure, through learning, through adapting. What we're seeing now is the culmination of all those lessons. Dak isn't trying to be the hero anymore. He's trying to be the solution. That's a subtle but powerful difference. And that's why, even in a year where the Cowboys are still trying to find their identity, their quarterback has already found his. So yes, the narrative around Dak Prescott is changing. But maybe it's not changing fast enough. Maybe, just maybe, it's time we all admit what's becoming clear. This is the best version of Dak Prescott we've ever seen. Not the one who needs everything perfect. Not the one who cracks under pressure. The one who leads when it's ugly, performs when it's tough, and thrives when it matters most. The one who's not just keeping the Cowboys afloat. He's redefining what leadership looks like in the NFL. And if he keeps this up, the conversation won't just be about whether he's underrated or MVP worthy. It'll be about how we all missed the moment when Dak Prescott quietly became one of the best quarterbacks in football. Keep watching as we analyze more details about some rumors. The long, drawn-out saga that has kept fans on the edge of their seats for weeks, maybe even months, finally seems to have reached a conclusion. Sources are buzzing with what could only be described as a blockbuster move in the NFL offseason. The Dallas Cowboys have reportedly sealed a massive deal to bring in veteran quarterback Kirk Cousins. The whispers started as mere speculation, a hint of a possible shakeup at the quarterback position. But now it seems that all signs point to the Cowboys pulling the trigger on a contract that could reshape the entire landscape of their offense. For years, the Cowboys have flirted with the idea of upgrading the quarterback spot, but indecision, cap space concerns, and the endless carousel of potential candidates kept fans restless and analysts talking. Now, the story takes a dramatic turn, and suddenly, everything is changing. Kirk Cousins, known for his steady arm, pocket presence, and ability to manage games with precision, could be the final piece that Dallas believes is necessary to push them over the edge in the NFC. The reports suggest that the agreement is not just significant in terms of dollars, but also in length and commitment, signaling that the Cowboys are betting big on immediate results while planning for sustained success. This isn't just a typical off-season signing. It's the kind of move that sends ripples through the league, forcing rival teams to reconsider their own strategies and perhaps even sparking a domino effect of quarterback rumors. Fans have been divided over this potential acquisition, and the chatter online has been nothing short of intense. Some see Cousins as a perfect fit for Dallas, a veteran who can step into a system that already boasts a strong offensive line, talented wide receivers, and a coaching staff known for maximizing quarterback performance. Others question whether Cousins can finally escape the narrative of inconsistency that has followed him through his career. Yet, with the Cowboys reportedly finalizing a deal, it seems the organization has made its choice: stability, experience, and a quarterback who has proven he can lead a team to the playoffs, even if the ultimate crown has eluded him so far. Analysts have been quick to weigh in, breaking down how Cousins' precision passing could mesh with Dallas' offensive schemes, and how his decision-making under pressure might complement the team's aggressive style. The Cowboys' front office, long criticized for overthinking or hesitating on quarterback decisions, appears to have acted decisively. And if the sources are accurate, this agreement marks a turning point in the franchise's ongoing quest to return to the Super Bowl spotlight. The rumor mill has been relentless. Early reports hinted at multiple teams vying for Cousins' services, but Dallas seems to have outmaneuvered its competition, offering a package that balances both financial incentives and roster stability. There's talk of performance bonuses, guaranteed money, and clauses designed to keep the quarterback fully motivated while aligning with the team's long-term goals. While exact figures are still shrouded in secrecy, insiders suggest that this contract could make Cousins one of the highest-paid quarterbacks in the league, a move that underscores just how serious the Cowboys are about immediate contention. Social media has erupted, with fan accounts, pundits, and former players chiming in on what this deal could mean for the NFC. Memes, hot takes, and deep dives into every possible scenario have dominated timelines, painting a picture of a franchise on the cusp of a significant transformation. The atmosphere is electric, and speculation continues to mount. How will this affect the existing roster, the team's draft plans, and even the mentality in the locker room? For now, one thing is certain: the Cowboys have made a statement. They are no longer a team content with incremental improvements. They are swinging for the fences, and Kirk Cousins might just be the centerpiece of that ambitious vision. But let's not ignore the dramatic human element here. Kirk Cousins has been a polarizing figure throughout his career, known for his methodical approach, clutch performances, and occasional bouts of unpredictability. Yet, there's a reason Dallas would pursue him with such vigor. Experience matters, particularly in the high-stakes environment of the NFL, where playoff appearances can define legacies and where a single mistake can haunt a team for years. Cousins brings not only skill but also a certain level of calm under pressure, a quality that could stabilize a team that has flirted with greatness but often fell short when the postseason arrived. Rumors suggest that negotiations were intense, stretching over weeks as both sides worked to find common ground. It's said that the Cowboys were determined not to let this opportunity slip away, while Cousins reportedly saw the move as a chance to step into a team with a championship-caliber roster and a fanbase eager for a savior. The synergy seems almost perfect on paper, but as any football fan knows, success is measured on the field, not in press releases. Still, the excitement surrounding this potential acquisition is palpable, and every football conversation in Dallas seems to revolve around the question: can Cousins finally deliver the kind of playoff success that has so often eluded him in Minnesota or Washington? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the timing couldn't be more dramatic, which only adds fuel to the rumor fire. Adding more spice to this story, insiders hint that the signing could have ripple effects beyond just the quarterback position. The Cowboys' offensive strategy, play calling, and even draft priorities could shift to accommodate Cousins' strengths. Think about it. A quarterback known for quick decision-making and precise intermediate throws opens the door for a variety of offensive schemes, from tempo-based attacks to heavy utilization of play action. Receivers may see their roles evolve, running backs could benefit from a more controlled passing game, and the offensive line might adjust protection schemes to maximize Cousins' comfort in the pocket. Meanwhile, defenders across the league are likely taking notes, recalculating their defensive strategies to account for a Cowboys offense that now has a seasoned signal caller at the helm. The potential for dominance is real, and the rumor mill is already speculating about possible playoff matchups, NFC title implications, and the narrative of the Cowboys finally shaking off their years-long quarterback uncertainty. The excitement is contagious, with fans and analysts alike imagining what a full season with Cousins leading the charge might look like. A season where the Cowboys are not just contenders, but serious threats to the league's top teams. Of course, no blockbuster rumor is complete without a little controversy, and naturally, this one has it. Some critics argue that Cousins, despite his impressive stats, hasn't yet won the big one. Others point to his occasional struggles in high-pressure games and question whether the Cowboys' investment is too high. But every franchise faces this dilemma when pursuing elite talent. The risk is always there, the reward potentially enormous. And Dallas, judging by every leak, every insider tip, and every cryptic tweet from front office personnel, seems willing to take that risk. The excitement is only heightened by the timing. Coming off a season that left fans frustrated, the Cowboys need a headline-grabbing move to signal that change is here, that ambition is back, and that the team is serious about contending for a Super Bowl. Cousins, for his part, reportedly sees this as the perfect stage to showcase his skills, possibly even redefining his legacy in the process. The narrative writes itself: a quarterback seeking redemption, a team yearning for glory, and a city ready to cheer its heroes back into contention. It's the stuff of NFL drama, and right now, Dallas is at center stage. In the end, the deal, if fully confirmed, represents more than just a player signing. It's a statement, a gamble, and a rumor turned reality that could reshape the Cowboys' immediate future. It's about ambition, timing, and the intersection of opportunity and talent. Every day that passes, the speculation grows, and the chatter about how this signing could affect rival teams, the playoff landscape, and the quarterback market is relentless. The Cowboys have not just made a move, they've potentially changed the conversation for the entire league. And while the regular season still looms large, filled with uncertainty and challenges, the air in Dallas is charged with optimism, anticipation, and just a touch of dramatic flair. Fans are already imagining the first snap, the opening drive, and the countless moments that could define a season. And Kirk Cousins, the man at the center of it all, might finally get the stage he has been waiting for, with a city and a franchise ready to back him every step of the way. This rumor, once whispered and doubted, has now grown into one of the most talked-about storylines in football, and if all the pieces fall into place, it could mark the beginning of a new chapter in Cowboys history, one where stability, talent, and big-picture ambition converge in the pursuit of the ultimate prize, the Super Bowl. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow NFL fans. Stay tuned for more updates, only here on NFL News Now.